there. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. You're probably wondering, like, why are you doing this walkthrough like this? You're like, I'm just being silly. But anyway, this is another Get Fit With Me series, yoga edition. And again, hello, Sharon, aka Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And we are continuing with this B.E.A.M by Yoga with Nico Marie, aka Black Yogi, with Nico Marie challenge that she put together. And I hope she sees this, because honestly, I'm so happy she did this challenge, because when I tell you I kind of didn't need that challenge, I need this challenge. I really did. Mainly because I don't know, like I think this is the first year of things being normal-ish. And I use that very loosely. But yeah, being social again and balancing regular life and keeping your house clean and all that stuff, it's a lot. It's kind of hard. And I'm trying to remember life changing. Was my apartment that clean before? But I also didn't have pets. So I think my cleanliness level has actually intensified because I have pets. But anyway, this is not why we're here. It's just kind of one of those things I was saying, though. And maybe this is why I need today's practice. See, I'm trying to do better about the segue part of it all. It's because today is day 5, mindfulness. See where I was going with that? And it's mindfulness. Well, it's actually mindset is what it's called, because that's her acronym that she used for the B.E.A.M, the M part, mindset. But we're going to be doing dynamic mindfulness yoga. And maybe that's the other thing I need right now. Maybe I need something to help me get me out of my head. And maybe you need that too. Anyway, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get this done. See you in a little bit. I know it might go without saying, but we're starting today's practice in a comfortable seated position. After being in a comfortable seated position for about 2 to 3 minutes, we are now rotating our hips in that comfortable seated position. So it's a little different from what we usually do. And then while we're doing the rotation, we're breathing in when we're forward and exhaling out. It's either that way or the other way around, but it's breath control as we're doing the movement. And then we're going to switch the rotation midway. From the hip rotations in the seated position, we are then now doing our side stretch, and we're going to alternate that on both sides. And yes, I am using Whisper as part of my prop for my side stretch, mainly because she wouldn't move. So there's that. once we finish warming up, we are going to transition now to a tabletop position. And then with the tabletop position, we're going to do some cat and cow. After we do some cat and cow and then also stretch our wrists a little bit by moving back and forth, we are going to make our way to our first downward facing dog. And while we are in our downward facing dog position, we are going to pedal the dog. From the downward facing dog, we're going to make our way to the front of the mat, 1 foot at a time or jumping. And we're going to be doing a standing forward bend. And then from there, we're going to make our way to a mountain pose. And then once we do the mountain pose and get our hands to prayer position, we then will make our way to a crescent lunge. Making sure in both cases with the mountain pose as well as the crescent lunge, we do a slight back bend as well. From the forward lunge, we then are going to do the reverse stretch where we do stretch our hamstring. And then from there, we're going to make our way back to standing forward bend, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. After we do the same thing on the opposite side, we are back to a standing forward bend. And then from there, we're going to then make our way back to a downward facing dog. From the downward facing dog, we then will make our way back to tabletop position to do our first extended child's pose for practice today. After the extended child's pose, we actually now are going to transition over to a pigeon. And from doing we're going to make sure we do the pigeon on both sides to really stretch out our hips. And then also, I should mention this because I don't think I've mentioned this before. All throughout the practice, we are working on our breathing throughout all these poses because a lot of it is holding the pose. After we do the pigeon pose on both sides, we do make our way to lying down on the mat. Once we are lying down on the mat, we're basically going to give ourselves a nice good squeeze of a hug with our knees in our chest. And that actually was one of our last poses we have. So from there, we are going to make our way to a torso pose or Shavasana. And then from there, we are then going to eventually make our way back to a comfortable seated position. And that will conclude the practice for today. All right, that concludes the practice for today. I will be honest, I liked it. I'll give it an 8.5 though. And the reason why is it was me. It wasn't her. My mindfulness, I couldn't do it. I couldn't shut this girl off. I was like, Sharon, not me, but like this head. I was like, shut the hell up. Shut it off. Couldn't do it. Also, I'll be honest, I think part of the reason why is because since it was a breathing heavy practice, I would not recommend this practice if your allergies or just if your breathing is defeating you. Like if you're beefing with your breathing, don't do it. And I'm saying it for me because, and this may be just me like, stating something because it's pretty obvious. And you can hear I'm a little nasally right now because my breathing is not, my allergies are really bad right now. So me trying to do mindfulness, especially with breath control, it was pretty hard. It was pretty difficult. I would think if like my allergies weren't so bad, I probably would have given it like a 9. But because of that, it docked it down. It had nothing to do with her though. It just had everything to do with like I couldn't mentally get into the practice all the way. So, but I do recommend you definitely check it out. It was a nice twist too, because I'll be honest also, I think I've said this before in other breathing related type practices I've done with other YouTubers that I've reviewed. I struggle doing meditation if it's meditation with the yoga at times. I honestly sometimes do better when it's just meditation or if it's just yoga. I don't know why it can be combined. Sometimes I just can't get my head out of it, out of what I was doing before. And also too, there were some difficult poses that kind of got me in my head more, like the lunges. And again, this is not her thing, this is a me thing. I'm still recovering from doing a half in like warm weather, because the half that I did, it was actually warmer weather than like it was originally supposed to be, so it made it extra challenging. So some of the poses with the lunges, my knees were like ooh, 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 ooh. Not killing it, but it was just like ooh, you know. And I was like, okay, adjust, you'll be fine, body, you're fine. So it was a lot of self-coaching that I had to do in order to get this done today, I'll be honest. But anyway, I definitely would check her out though, and I would check out this routine, because it definitely is good to introduce people who are not as into doing meditation to get started with meditation. And I think that's the way that's the way I got started with doing meditation. It was incorporated in the yoga. And then as I got better with meditation, now I much prefer just doing meditation on its own. I don't do it enough, because maybe that's a sign. Maybe I just need to do it more. But it is something I do sometimes. I just like, okay, let me find me a 10-15 minute meditation video and just woosah, you know. But anyway, that pretty much concludes the video for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner, and I will see you next time. Bye.